So today I will give you a brief overview on the data and statistics that show that eating more plant-based diet is actually really helpful for the environment. Did you know that the food you eat today will impact the world you live in tomorrow? A lot of us love eating chicken nuggets, steaks, and chicken strips. However, what we eat impacts our internal environment as well as our external environment. There are scholarly scientific journal articles that I've researched that show that limiting our intake of meat actually helps our health and the environment. So the choices we make today will make a big impact on our world tomorrow. One issue with eating meat is that the meat industry itself actually produces a lot of harmful gases to the environment. In an article from the IOP Science Journal database, it says that global warming are like the effect of climate based on human activities that release large amounts of greenhouse gases on the environment. And one of those is carbon dioxide. So in fact, greenhouse gas emissions and the meat production sector go hand in hand. So according to Ocean's North 2022 risk report, there's a study that shows that each gram of beef produced or consumed in our diet, the beef production side of it, it actually takes 42 more times land use, 2 times more water use, and 4 times more nitrogen. So that generates 3 times more greenhouse gas emissions in the whole process. And in a study from in India, mutton and milk production contribute 23 to 25% of the total agricultural greenhouse gases produced. While all other food produced, like plants, it's only 16%. So there are a lot of positive reports for the plant-based diet. There's researchers in 2019 from the online journal Sustainability. They said that the vegan diet is the best for the environment because it results in the lowest level of greenhouse gas emissions. So not all of us may want to do a full vegan diet or even be able to, like financially. However, just eating even a little less meat will make a big impact on how much meat is produced. So there's some people from the Hargreaves research study that say that there's some people who like do a flexitarian diet, and that's just eating like meat a couple times a week or even once a week. So that makes it more manageable and not having to do a full vegan diet. So this solution sort of satisfies our need to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, because even just a little bit less meat that we eat, that means there's less meat produced from the whole sector. So if we choose to eat less meat, then there's probably less produced, and this will result in less greenhouse gas emitted into our atmosphere. So another study on the health side, like our internal environment, larger portions of meat aren't necessarily like important to our diet or for every single meal. We can try to pile on more plants on our plate instead. So this incentive influences our health. There are some according to researchers in the University of Bath in 2019, there's a study that shows that a correlation between consuming animal products actually leads to higher rates of type 2 diabetes, cancer, and cardiovascular disease, and just overall mortality. So these are really important things to remember, like just based on like how we eat just day to day. If we cut down on certain meats we eat, then we can cut down on gases emitted. Another point of like why eating meat may impact our environment is it can impact like animal habitats. So Ocean's North, again, they indicated that greenhouse gas emissions actually warm ocean waters, and they're kind of hurting marine life. So if we act now, there's actually a chance we can prevent further destruction of those habitats and slow down the rate that the waters are warming. Ocean's North 2022 risk report says that lowering emissions reduces the risk for 98% of all marine life species. and that will lead to ecosystem stability and reduce the risk for those low-income nations who really rely on the fisheries and need those animal life to survive. On the other hand, if we don't act, there's continued high emissions going to be released of those greenhouse gases, and 87% of those marine species are projected to experience a high risk of adverse climate change over like their whole geographic area by 2100 that year. So our call to action today is to hope for a better future and not be so bogged down by those numbers and statistics, but notice that the things we do impact our environment, and there's also hope to do what we can today and potentially impact our world tomorrow. If we consume more sustainable foods, then we'll probably improve our outcomes for the world. So doing what we can today is really important. Thanks.